special Carl for Christina.
Soft. Christina's soft.
Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo we love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker. Joining me today, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello, Ben.
Hi.
What's going on with you over there?
Not much. Just excited to talk some Top Chef with you. We have so many exciting things happening. We have our Seattle show next week where we will be recapping the season premiere of The Real Housewives of Miami, which I feel like people need to be talking about the fact that this show is coming back next week. It's going to be so great. And then the week after that, we have our final show of the Mounting Hysteria tour. And that's going to be in Los Angeles at the Fonda Theater on June 19th. So please join us there. Tickets for these shows, or links to the tickets, are at watchwhatcrappens.com. Anything you would ever need from us is at that link. You can also find links there to our Patreon, but it's also easy to remember our Patreon, which is just patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens, where on Patreon we have Crappens On Demand, where you can watch us, not just listen to us. So hello, everyone. We do lots of fun things like trailer trashes. We also do our bonus episodes, and we're very excited because Love Island USA is starting up, which means that for the duration of that show, we are going to be checking in every day and talking about the last night's episode. So we did that last season. We had a lot of fun with it. So I hope you join us because last season was honestly truly amazing. I love Love Island season. It is upon us. And lastly, I think that is it. I don't think there's anything else. Next Gen NYC is starting up this week also. So we'll be having recaps of that and just all the fun stuff. But right now, Top Chef is starting to wrap up and we're here at the semifinals in Canada. What do you think?
Here we are, Alberta.
Alberta.
Yeah, Alberta. Here we go. Last week we missed a recap. So if you're listening to this in the future, like, where were they? How could you skip an episode? We did that because Ben was in Norway, and that's it. That's just how it happened. Ben was living his magical life, and that was really all it was. And did it kill both of us that we missed an episode where Gail was literally eating berries off people's plates? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, it hurt. But we had to do it.
I would like to make an update on this front, which is that the week that we skipped was the beef and berry challenge. And as people may know, I really hate most berries. But when I was in Norway, guess what I did?
You did not.
I ate various berries. I did.
How'd you feel about it? Did you come back a berry convert, or are you just like,
No, not a berry convert, but I think I'm berry tolerant now. Where if I see a berry on my plate, I don't immediately like, oh, no, I can't eat it. I can't touch it. Like it was so bad that I really if berries were touching stuff, it was really hard for me. But now I think I can just eat berries. I still don't like a lot of berry flavored things. So if there's like a candy that's like raspberry flavored or whatever, it still is totally repulsive to me. But I also feel that way about things I do like banana. I don't like banana flavoring or grape. Like a grape candy is disgusting to me, but I love grapes and love bananas. So I feel like I made a lot of progress on the berry front in Norway.
Well, I love that for you.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of growth for me.
That is huge.
Yeah, I think I can deal with strawberries. I'm hoping to get to a place where I actually look forward to it. I felt that way about passion fruit. For the longest time, I hated passion fruit. And it got thrown into so many desserts that at nice restaurants. So I was like, ugh, it's passion fruit, but I guess I should just power through. And now I actually enjoy passion fruit. So I hope I can catch up with really the rest of the entire world and start to enjoy strawberries and blueberries and raspberries. Not quite there yet, but yeah. Big progress.
Nice. Well, it's like fitting because while you were gone, I tried something new too. Vaginas.
Get out.
I'm just kidding.
Did you have sex with a lady?
No. Wouldn't that be funny? You're on a berry journey. I'm on a vagina journey. It's crazy. Our lives have changed in 1 week. We are totally different people.
We've all changed.
Okay, so here we are with Contestant. Welcome. Okay, so Lana got kicked off last week, which I felt really bad for her, kind of. I felt kind of bad for her because, I don't know. Well, you guessed that Lana might win because they had been setting up like Lana, like let's give Lana backstory now. And
Give her a
you
lot of
thought that
backstory.
meant she was going to win. And so I kind of had it in my head that she was going to win. And well, not win, but get to the finals.
Get to the finals, yeah.
Yeah. So I was sad. I was sad for Lana because she's got a
I was
boyfriend in
sad.
Italy. She needs the money.
She's so cute. I really liked Lana a lot, but
Yeah, she was
she
sweet.
just couldn't. She was starting to flame out. So that's okay. So she's no longer with us, but we do have Cesar, who actually we know he's still with us because his first line of the episode is, "I'm still here."
I'm still here. Yeah, I'm gonna miss Lana's love, but I am here. I'm one challenge away from being in the end, and after the end, I get to go back to my grow lights under my bed.
Rutabagas, my rutabagas are missing me. Isn't that a Sondheim song? I'm still here. Isn't there a song
Yeah.
like, and I'm still here?
Good times and bad times, I've seen them all, my dear. I'm still here. Rutabagas grow lights. That's all I have.
Spinach not putting up a fight, and I'm still here.
And Bailey's crying. She's like, I have such a true friend in Lana. It feels like a bigger purpose now because I'm fighting for all women. Oh, for Christ's sake, just go burn your lasagna already in the streets. You lasagna
Tristan's going to win
feminist.
this thing. So stop trying to hold out for any sort of symbolic gesture. Like, whatever you want to do, it's fine. But Tristan's going to win. So let's set expectations.
So you think it's for sure Tristan, huh? I think that's obviously the front runner. I think it's going to be Schwei for some reason.
No, I think it's going to be Tristan. Tristan has been so good all season long. And he literally skipped his father's funeral to be here. And are they really going to not? They're not going to give it to Tristan. I mean, they have to. He has been, and on top of that, not only has he been so good, he's also lovely. I think we all are rooting for Tristan, right? Are we all rooting for Tristan? I'm rooting for him.
I'm
I
rooting
love
for Tristan.
Cesar. I even like.
I
Bailey.
like everybody at this point. This is one of those seasons where I actually like everybody, and everybody seems super talented. So yeah, it would be great to see Tristan win for sure. And he probably will. I think you're right. But I think they're going to do a shocking thing where and also Tom loves to give last chance kitchen winners. That's his show. So I feel like he stumps really hard.
Validates it.
Yeah,
it validates the entire process.
Because we've got two of them now in the finals, which is nuts. You've got Cesar and Bailey. Well, I guess this is the semifinals, right?
Yeah. Still, it is wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's saying how she wants to see women get into the finals, and Massimo's like, by the way, I can girl talk very well. You know what? I'm really good with that. I'm a girl dad. His ex-wife is like, I was gonna say absentee dad, but that's fine. You can say girl dad too.
And then we find absentee dad, gone dad. I mean gone dad.
Gone girl dad.
And Tristan, we find out more about. He's like, I'm great. I get my nails done. I love a manicure. Really like it. Moisturizing. That's what I'm really into. We find out more about Tristan today, which I love that Tristan's kind of a little diva. He's like, I don't go outside and I get manicures. There.
Yeah.
That's it.
So they go back to the hotel, and then Cesar takes a banana, and he sort of cuts it in a way where he puts a little, and he sort of slices the tip of it and then puts a blueberry in it and makes it look like a little fish coming up with a berry or a dinosaur with a berry in its mouth. I was like, this is the most Cesar thing that he could do right now with this banana. And of course I loved it. I was like, I'm going to do that.
He's like, you know what? I was having a good day, but then something happened where I had to eat my friend, the fish. Finally made a friend. And I ate him. So they get mystery totes, and they've got fishing gear. And Bailey's like, gloves? I think this means we're gonna forage. I love foraging.
I'm terrified of foraging. I actually was going to do some light foraging in Norway, but I didn't wind up doing it. Somehow it just didn't happen. But the night that I watched this episode, actually, our group, we cooked a dinner because the leader of our tour group, we had two leaders. One was like a Norwegian, and then one is actually an American expat who lives in Norway, and she's also a cookbook author. Her name is Nevada Berg. Everyone get her books. North Wild Ketchum.
Or as we call her, Trader Nevada Berg.
So she loves to forage, and so we were gonna try to forage for some meadow sweet, which is like a little flower.
What's that?
It's like a flower that you can eat. It's like yeah. But so I took a nap actually. I took a nap and I missed some of the foraging. And by some I mean all of it. But the product of foraging is that we wound up with spruce tips, and you can actually eat if you have like a pine tree or like a spruce, the new growth at the edge that happens in the spring, where it's like still all soft before the needles have become like piney and hard. You can actually eat those. So we actually had with our dinner, actually with our cocktails, we had foraged spruce tips.
And did you ever at one point
I don't know
in
where I'm
this
going
dinner,
with this.
did you ever at one point in this dinner think, these people are fucking with me?
I think that all the time about everyone. I'm very gullible.
Like, is this real? That sounds really good, actually. For foraging, to me sounds like, does the FDA know about this? Like,
I know.
You know, when people go through the kitchen, and if you ever work at a restaurant, you know, the letter ratings or whatever you got on the outside, the A's and B's and stuff, they are so picky and stringent on what is served and how it's served. And there's all these rules. And I'm like, but you just went and picked this out of a pile of poop in a forest, and I'm supposed to eat this. And I think that's so sad how removed we are from nature. But I think we've all learned that nature is gross and it needs to be cleaned before it goes into our mouths. So that's where I'm at with foraging.
I feel like I don't see the need for foraging. The one thing I would forage for maybe would be for ramps, because they're apparently really hard to get, or they're only like seasonal or whatever.
Well, how else are you going to get onto a freeway?
I'm not going to wait for the city to build this. I'm going to find one in nature. So
how am I going to pop my Hot Wheels?
Yeah, I mean ramps.
What is a ramp?
It's it's like in that onion family, an allium. It's kind of like people really love them as I think they're more like delicate or floral or whatever than like a scallion. But like they're actually like they're seasonal and they're climate specific, and so it's often much cheaper just to get them out of the forest than to go and buy them at the supermarket, because it's like they're crazy expensive because they're so rare. So I would forage for that. But what I would not be interested in foraging for ever would be mushrooms, because I'm like, I don't want to die. And
well, that's the thing, because you're always taught when you go camping or, you know, whatever, as a kid, they teach you don't just eat the mushrooms because they'll kill you. So I had that in my head, you know, and so I see them like picking out these Cesar's like, I found one that was bigger than a human head. It was amazing. It was 9,000 pounds. I've never forgotten about that. I was in the newspaper. Well, I wrote it on the cover of the newspaper, my mom's newspaper. I love my mom. Oh, my mom comes. But we see him with the huge mushroom, and I'm like, I wouldn't eat that. Like, you don't know what that's grown in.
Yeah. A hen of the woods. You know what I want? I want a hen in the supermarket. Give me a hen of the supermarket, please. Okay, because I feel like there was just a story about a famous forager who ate a poison mushroom by accident and died. Like, I don't want to, it's just not worth it to me. It's not worth it to risk my life just so I could be like, this mushroom, yeah, I found it in the forest.
I mean, at this point, I risk my life all the time on stupid things. I drive a Vespa. I vape still occasionally. A lot, occasionally my ass. So, I mean, I'm already risking my life on stupid things. But here's the thing. Like, I don't want to risk it on a mushroom. Like, I'll risk it to go into a dangerous restaurant if they have good food. But I don't want to risk it eating. Like, I'll go to like a Waffle House at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Where you know there could be a fight. Yeah. But I don't know that I'm willing to risk it on some mushroom you picked. Like, that sounds gross. Go to the store. How about pick a job, get a car, and go to a store and buy me something?
Get a job. Get a job. Get an oyster mushroom at the store. Okay. And Cesar's like, yeah, I found this huge 15-pound hen of the woods. What are you going to do with 15 pounds of hen of the woods mushroom? Like, that's a lot. I love mushrooms, but 15 pounds? That's a lot. I hope you invited some people over. That's a lot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I hope you had like a mushroom party, because that shit's crazy. And then they showed the big mushroom that he bought, and it looked like one of the plant alien or zombie things from The Last of Us, because they're all like vegetable zombies. Like, it's like a broccoli monster, and they're chasing you, which was actually more terrifying. But I think that's like Weight Watchers memories. I'm literally being chased by broccoli right now. And here they are on TV. But I don't want to eat the zombie head.
Cesar literally just decapitated a zombie, and it's like, I found a mushroom, guys. Like, you killed a zombie, actually. And he says, yeah, I found a 15-pound hen of the woods, and it took me 2 hands to hold it. I mean, the adrenaline just hits you. The most exciting moment, which, I don't know, it's just funny. Like, I guess some people jump out of a plane, and other people just
find a mushroom.
Meanwhile, it's like, this just in. Local famous Chicago mushroom is gone missing from our forest. It's like some like special, like, community's favorite mushroom that he just plucked.
It's like 3 years later, we see a clip of Cesar on the news just being like, oh, I was just trying to get that rush one last time, trying to find a mushroom.
It's like the new reboot of Point Break, except instead of surfing, they're just hunting for mushrooms. Hey, bruh. Did you catch that wave? No, but I found a hen of the woods.
So now everybody loads into their BMWs to go to Quarry Lake in Canmore. And everybody's like, this is amazing. And Massimo's like, oh, this is something I've never done. I've never been camping before. Gross. Disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying this is amazing about the car because they did a lot of that. Wow, the way these doors closed. I've never seen a door close on a car so beautifully, like in my BMW X593, BMW X3 Z1.
The way we got into this car and there was a map of where we're going. Holy crap. My life is changed.
Wait a second. Is this a seatbelt? You mean every seat has one? Wow, what a car.
I wish I could get some fresh air in this car. This button moves those glass things down. Air's coming in here. Air from the outside. I forged air. I forged air in my BMW.
Wait a second. I just noticed that you haven't driven off the side of the road. Wait, this car has a windshield? I've never seen that before. So you can actually see the road.
What are we in the future?
You don't have to stick your head out the side.
What is this, 100 years in the future? Is Trump still president?
Wait a second, I can't believe it. Round wheels, no more squares, at last.
So they go out to look for their stuff, and Kristen is like, hi, guys. A nice way to start the day, right? We are not having quickfire today. Today is Forage Day. That's right. Cesar, please put your boner away. We're in public. Okay.
So Schwa is saying, I can't believe we're this deep in Top Chef right now. I mean, the first day I couldn't have been more nervous. You could tell because my cheeks turned very, very red. And I just feel like a whole different person. And I'm just refining myself as a chef. It turns out I can cook the same food, but I talk about my grandma 50% more. And it does much better with the judges.
He's like, I can't wait to forage because I would forage with my grandmother. I'm looking through this you know what I'm looking for in this forage? A grandmother. Just a grandmother to cook because it reminds me of my grandmother. It's like, okay, you're going a little far now. Okay, the grandma stories have got to end. Find a mushroom. Leave the old ladies alone.
Welcome, everybody, to beautiful Quarry Lake here in Canmore. Ooh, hi, it's Ghost Padma here from the beyond. Canmore, more like more cans. That's Gail asking for beans.
It's a shame I had to die, but I was coming into the forest today to forage, and by forage I mean find a decent dress for Gail. Unfortunately, I found this magic tree, stuck my finger in the socket, and was electrocuted. So I'll only be here as a ghost from today on, everybody. Now, welcome to Canmore, or as we call Gail, Can't Less.
Do you guys all consider yourself outdoorsy? I would say the answer to that is yes, based on the fact that they all smell like bear feces.
And Mike Massimo's like, I'll go hiking if it's with a pack of cigarettes. Just kidding.
Kristen goes,
about the hiking part.
Kristen goes, what? She's shocked. She's like, okay. All right, Tristan, you're not outdoorsy. He's like, I work so hard to have a roof over my head, and you may have missed it, but I did talk about manicures earlier, so no, I do not go outside. Okay,
yeah, he's like, well, I will stand at the roof that I paid for. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, if you want to make it to the finals in Italy, you're going to have to search high and low, which reminds me as a child, when I used to play hide and seek, and I would search high and low. Oh my God, sorry, I'm crying again. I'm getting a little choked up.
Guys, we're foraging, which reminds me of my season of Top Chef, which was so very special. I just won
Savor these
$10,000 in a quick fire. Just kidding. God, those memories are good.
Savor these moments, everyone. Savor these moments. I'm going to play piano on the table. Savor these moments. Savor them.
Please say hello to Creed Knowledge Keeper and owner of Mohican Trails, Brenda Holder. Brenda, she's like, well, hello there. I just like to thank all of you for coming and being such good children to me. No, not Brenda Fricker. Oh. It's Brenda Holder. Okay,
I think you've been a little mistaken there. I don't know who you're talking about. No, not Brenda Blethyn either. I'm terribly sorry, but I don't belong to the Cree tribe. I never had any relationship. Oh God, I remember everything now.
I've only just found you and you're sending me away again. Okay, Brenda, you can stay. Just stay, Brenda Blethyn.
By the way, we highly recommend watching the film from 1997 or 96, Secrets and Lies, where this is all a reference to. Otherwise, I know people are like, what are they talking about? It's a very specific scene in Secret and Lies, and you should watch it. It's a wonderful
your mom.
movie.
It's me, your mom, Brenda Blethyn.
I'm terribly sorry. I never had a child. Oh, God. I'm a baby doll now.
Okay, and next to Brenda Blethyn is local chef, master forager, Tracy Little, like the mouse. So this is the mouse's sister. So she's like, hello, chefs. My restaurant is 10 minutes down the road through a little hole on the wall. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. She's like, we do tasting menus of shit that we find outside. People are suckers. It's $50 a plate. I literally served somebody a quail that I found dead in the road. People are idiots, am I right? Don't forget your A1 sauce.
So Bailey says, Brenda and Tracy are incredibly cool. I mean, Brenda just telling us about the land. I could listen to her speak for hours. And Tracy, I just really want to come back so I can try her food. But of course I won't. So anyway, I hope her restaurant does well. So then Kristen's like, chefs.
Bailey's energy is so weird. Like, it gets weirder every week. She's just like, and listen, I'm not a posture person. I'm a very bad Bette Midler posture. Everybody knows it. I can't fix it. My wrists are dragging on the ground, and they're already bent because they're gay. So I've got like all this going on. So I know it's hypocritical. But Bailey, I just want to be like, Bailey, I know I make fun of you always trying to make lasagna, but you know what? You're talented. Like, you're good enough. You're smart enough. You deserve
Gosh darn
to
it,
be
people
here.
like you.
I didn't go that far, but I was like, you deserve to be here, Bailey. Because Bailey's just so like, oh, God, I don't know. I just like, I'm so bad at this, you know? I mean, I'd like to try her food because it seems like it's good. She'd probably know what to do for this challenge, but I don't. She's getting more like, it's depression.
Well,
it's a sad cloud.
She probably realizes that she's going to lose to Tristan. That's why. So Kristen goes, chefs, we're going to go back to where the culinary story began. Foraging, brought to you by our good friends at McDonald's. So all around the world, Happy Meal at the happiest place on earth, brought to you by McDonald's. All around the world.
I remember being a girl and foraging, going from McDonald's to try and find a boardwalk piece.
Today's going to be a lot like that. It's going to be a lot like that. Sorry, I've been in your shoes before. That's special. Savor this. So she's like, leading chefs are really leaning into this practice more and more. And emergency rooms could not be more excited. They have developed all sorts of ways to pump toxic mushrooms out of your stomach. So Tracy says that Alberta is known for the beautiful outdoors, and there's 35,000 hectares of publicly forested land, and they provide lots of ingredients for foraging, etc. And then Brenda is saying, like, this is the time of the energy where the plant goes down into the roots. And so they're just talking about the plants from the land, because obviously, again, they are from indigenous peoples who use the whole, like, the land in sacred ways, etc., in much better ways.
Yeah, she's like, welcome. This land is medicine. Everything you see here is medicine. Okay, you're going to need to sell this a little bit better, because these are expensive dishes and I don't want to eat medicine. So I don't care if it can heal me, but say something else. Just be like, this is where chocolate was invented. Like, lie to me. I don't know. Make it good. Like, we bake bread here. We forage for Hawaiian rolls. Like, something. But don't just tell me it's medicine. I don't want to eat your goddamn medicine. I don't eat my medicine.
Wow, Gail must have strep throat. That explains why she's gnawing on the bark of that tree. So Kristen goes,
She didn't mean literally, Gail. You'll have the tree.
well, for your final elimination challenge in Canada, each of you must create a dish using foraging ingredients from the trees to the roots. But no matter your expertise or level of your knowledge, just know I've done it before and I've done it better than you. And it was an honor. It was an honor to be in your shoes.
So Brenda takes us out, shows the kids foraging stuff. And Bailey's like, yeah, living in the city, sometimes you don't slow down and really appreciate how special Mother Nature is, So, like, it's nice to have a moment being connected with the earth, which I think hates me and my food and everything I stand for. I'd just like to take this moment to apologize to Mother Nature and assure that I'm going to do better.
Kristen also tells us, okay, you're going to want to dig deep for this one because the winner will receive $10,000. And so be sure to grab the tools from the trunks of the BMW X3s and then you can come right back. Like, okay, so we are going to be honoring Earth by honoring these wonderful indigenous traditions of the Cree people, but also promoting the BMWs that are going to destroy the environment at the same time.
The gas guzzling BMW, or is this one of the electrics? I'm not sure. I think this might be the electric one.
Brenda's like, oh, come over here, guys. This is my favorite place to gather some of the wild ingredients. And unfortunately, this tire is sitting on top of my favorite plant. Sorry about that.
Yeah, let's drive all 5 BMWs that we took for this through the forest, okay? Anything you don't run over, you can eat.
I also want to point out something. So when they drove out here, they drove like 2 BMWs, like, they're in that little caravan. Whoever was driving that second BMW was fully tailgating the first one. I don't know if anyone else knows that, but I was like, excuse you, like one car length, sir or ma'am, whoever's driving, let's not tailgate the other BMW. We don't need a fender bender on these roads.
I like that you're standing up for it. That's good. So she's showing people stuff, and she shows them something called yarrow, known for its bitter licorice-like flavor. It can be used in various culinary and medicinal application. They should just have a medicine. Just call it. Just serve me some NyQuil in a ice cream cone. If this is what we're gonna do. But Massimo goes with it. He's like, I can't believe it. Early summer flowers. I love them. I feel so lucky. I only use flowers in season. I'm not an out of season flower person. Well, that's good because they probably wouldn't be growing right now while you're foraging. But I love that you're taking a stand.
And then they look at some juniper. Okay, here's another Norway story. I tasted some reindeer stew that was made with juniper, and it really does. I never really had juniper before, and the juniper really does. It does taste like gin. I was like, oh, well, now it all makes sense. The full juniper story. So,
well, it tastes like breakfast.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I know a little bit more about juniper than you do, Ronnie. So, no, but it was kind of cool. It was really cool to taste.
You knew that before Norway. I'd just like to say.
Norway about that.
You knew more than me before that trip. So Brenda's like, well, let's pick one of these because I think they're great. Smell it. Smell the gin seeping out of you. I'm sorry, that's my purse. It's open. But the flowers kind of smell like it too.
Brenda Blethen, are you stealing the juniper again?
Because it tastes so good when you smoke it.
So then Schwai says that he doesn't want to just make a bowl of soup, but he wants to make a medicinal broth because, like his mom and grandma used to cook for him, he's like, growing up drinking these broths. Grandma's broth.
Christ.
He's like, yeah, so he's gonna make something that's medicinal, but like good medicinal. And then Brenda is
biggest
like,
shocker would say his grandma made it. I was like, I just can't believe it. I wonder if he even really has a grandma. I'll bet this is just made up for stories on TV. I don't believe it anymore. You've gone too heavy on the grandma. I don't even believe you even have a grandma. There.
So then Brenda's like,
No, this right here. This is a rose hip. Let's try the flesh of it.
and Massimo tastes the rose hip. He goes, ooh, it's squashy. And she goes,
Yes, a little bit like squash.
and you know that Brenda turned it to the other ladies like, this fucking guy. He just called a rose hip squash.
Also, could we please stop reviewing Gail, Massimo? We're supposed to be talking about things we're foraging. Right? Leave your squashy comments to yourself. That's my department.
So then they are trying roots and stuff, and Then they're trying. Tracy tells them to eat dandelion root or mustard root. So they do. This is foraging. There's foraging.
They're foraging, guys. That's what they're doing.
Guys.
And now Tracy is like, guys, can I show you my favorite thing in the forest? It's a pile of ants. That's right. I pluck them out right with my fingers. I swallow them down whole, feel them biting me the whole way down. Fucking delicious. Are you guys in or are you out? I charge $100 a plate for a plate of ants in this town, okay? Don't be a bunch of wussies. Get your fingers down in there. Kill those motherfuckers. Why is everybody just so okay with murdering ants? And then she's like, and then you get the ant, and here's what you do. You freeze them, okay? And then you throw them in the fire. So right when they're waking up, they're getting toasted. Isn't that great? Have you seen the movie Ants, Tracy? You're a torturer.
I'm okay with all of this. I just would like to add.
They have families.
They are definitely very gay friendly. All those ants are like, yes, queen. We do everything for a queen. Okay.
The flaming ants.
She is mother. Okay. When she says go find a piece of leaf, we do it, bitch.
I'm not hanging out with those other ants. We're fire ants.
This ant is fire. Okay. You heard of fire island? How about fire ant hole?
Mother, icon, fire.
So
they eat them because Tracy bullies them into eating ants. And she's like, just squeeze it between your fingers. Tastes like lemon and vinegar and blood and guts and depression and despair and broken families, Tracy.
I say eat those fucking ants. Eat them. Eat them up. So she's basically, my favorite was, she was like, yeah, so this is, we forage for ants. So you just grab the ants. But, oh, by the way, they do bite. Sorry, it's going to suck. So they're all sitting there like trying to gather these ants, but they're getting bitten by the ants. And, Tracy's like, Brenda was like, Tracy, we do have some gloves. Shh, just let them get bit. It's fine.
I love watching these TV normies try and eat an ant.
Yeah. So then they're eating them, and Bailey's like, it sort of tastes like lemon segments. They're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know what else does? Lemons. Yeah, that's what everybody says. They're like, wow, it's like lemon zest. Yeah, get a lemon zest. Poor ants. So then Tracy's like, yeah, this is where Tracy talks about her ant torture, freezing them, putting them to sleep, and then toasting them. So, which is, by the way, probably how healthcare is going to end up. I feel like that's going to happen to me by the time I'm old enough. They're just going to be like, freeze him and then toast him. He won't even know the fucking difference.
Listen, actually, I have actually eaten ants, and this did not happen in Norway. This happened in Santa Monica, and they were good. I had fries. Yeah, they were good. Yeah, that's just like kind of like crunch. I would not say they tasted like lemon because they were not fire ants. They were just regular ants. But there used to be a restaurant called Typhoon in Santa Monica, and you could get crickets, you can get ants, you can get all sorts of creepy crawlers.
I've had crickets.
Crickets are really good. I like crickets.
Yeah, I've had crickets. And I'm not saying ants are gross. I just, I saw the movie Ants, and I really loved them. I was like, listen, this has changed my mind on ants. Because, like, I had ants in my house, and it was like a big, long line coming from the door. You know how they march? They're so cute. Mm-hmm. Like, they all stay in step, and they march up to wherever they're trying to get to. And I was like, I don't want to kill these ants because I saw that movie. And so I was looking up natural ways to get rid of ants. And unfortunately, none of those work. You have to kill the fuckers.
You have to kill them.
There's no...
Listen, once you've heard ants voiced by J-Lo and Sharon Stone, it's hard to kill them. So I understand.
It's hard. It's like you're killing gay icons.
Again, honestly, whoever came up with the casting list for ants, they deserve an award. Like, okay, here's what we want. We want to do a movie about ants, but they need to have voices. Okay, let's get Sharon Stone, let's get J-Lo, let's get Woody Allen, Sylvester Stallone, and Christopher Walken. Done.
And it was brilliant. That's why it was so good. It made me feel things, but now we're killing them in en masse. So they look stuff and they look for stuff, and Tracy's like, I just can't wait to see what you guys do with these ingredients. Hope none of you are allergic to ant bites. Idiots.
Wow. Hope none of you are allergic to gale bites either, because that's going to happen later too.
One day, one of you's going to come in wearing cocoa butter. Lose an arm.
So now they load up their cars, and and
all the flowers die behind them.
They've all got their stuff. They all had a great time doing it. So now they're in the car. They're talking about their ideas, and Tristan's thinking about doing some sort of meat smoked over some sort of branch. These were some of the names they were throwing around before they settled on the name Some Kind of Wonderful. Like, should we call it Some Kind of Meat? No, Some Kind of Branch. How about Some Kind of Wonderful? I suppose.
All right. Well, we don't want to show the branch people preference, so I guess it's
Mary Stuart Masterson is getting impatient, so you better come up with a name right away.
Mary Stuart Brancherson? No, Ronnie, drop the branch. Drop the branch idea. Okay, we're not going with that.
Martha Plimpton's like, hi, but I really thought I was signing on to a movie about branches.
So Bailey is like, well, our brains are going in the same direction, Tristan. He's like, want to just share a dish? Loser. Brains do not go in the same direction. I can assure you. And Schwei's like, now this is now a team challenge. The 4 of us against Massimo. Okay. Well, 5 of us, because my grandma's here. My grandma is here right next to me.
Yeah. So Massimo's snoring and everything. And then they go to a store to shop. Massimo orders some trout. And he's like, when I woke up from my sleep in the car, I have a very clear dish that I pictured. I got a really nice juniper, and I'd really love to get a grilled trout grilled on the Barbie and then smoked them on the juniper. And that way the smoke dispenses all the flavor, and you cannot get that any other way. And the longer I spend smoking the trout, the less time I have to spend FaceTiming my daughter later. Girl dad. Girl dad.
Girl dad. And Bailey's like, oh God, I'm just having such a hard time. It's gonna be Final Four if I can get through. I don't want Italy. There's just so much at stake. I heard there's a freeway pile up. What am I gonna do about it? It could rain tonight. I'm not good enough to be here. Just take my apron now.
Tristan doesn't know what he's going to do either. He's just going to grab things that just seem right. So he's doing that. And Cesar is really happy that they have a nice mushroom selection. You know, the store was like, well, we were supposed to have a little bit more, but someone stole our 15-pound head of the woods that we've been growing for 3 years.
Missing head of the woods. You've seen this big brain looking thing. Please call authorities. Brenda's just sitting there waiting.
Here on the scene is our action news reporter, Brenda Blethyn.
Oh, terrible story out here in the Shikaki Woods. A hen of the woods has been stolen. I'm terribly sorry there's no more hen of the woods for people to enjoy.
I just wanted to tell Head of the Woods, wherever you are, I'm your mom. And I love ya. Come home to me.
I thought I'd never see that hen of the woods again after I planted it, but I'd forgotten. I was young and I was foolish. I never thought I'd come back to see you again.
So they have to cook all this kind of camping style. So Cesar's like, oh, I've got to cook it camping style. So I'm thinking of other dishes that are made in fire. And I thought of tacos al pastor. So I'm going to do that. Like, okay. So then, but I mean, like all food is kind of cooked on fire. Just by the way, just to put it out there. And my first thought would be like the flame grilled Whopper. But, I guess that shows our difference in class levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My first thought is Sizzler. So why not do a nice little buffet for everyone? A foraged buffet. So Cesar
in El Paso. Yeah. Charcoaler for life.
Mm-hmm. So Cesar is saying that we have our opportunity to pause our lives. And I like this pause. And I like the things that I'm focused on. I can slow down a little bit. But don't go too slow, because the BMW X3 can go from 0 to 60 within 10 seconds. BMW, moving faster for our lives.
Faster than Windex can clean a window, but not by much, because Windex is amazing. It's like, all right, stop double dipping, Kristen. All right.
So Massimo says,
oh, yeah.
Oh, you want to do Massimo?
No.
You can do Massimo.
No.
Okay. I love when we start up on the line together. So he's like, when I first walked into Top Chef, I was a chef of very difficult 18-year pedigree that I wanted to prove, that my name was Massimo. I came in very confident. Then every single day, I was surrounded by chefs of such a quality and caliber that competing against them was very humbling for someone, not for me. I never got humbled.
But I did grill a lot of fish. So there was that.
I did break a cutting board and light a fancy restaurant on fire by accident.
And Bailey is like, it's so hard coming from the restaurant I work at because it's just so comfortable there. I mean, we were cooked lasagna noodles as pashminas. I mean, does it get better? And, this is just really hard. And every day I wake up and I say, push through, Bailey. Just push through. Bailey, God, be happier. You're doing so well, Bailey. Be more psyched.
So Tristan has this to say. He's like, the biggest thing that I've always preached is competition, and being uncomfortable breeds progress and a better thing. And it turns me into another animal that I used to know, right? Like when we were cooks and we were just like hungry. Remember when you're just like cooks being hungry but getting manicures at the same time? That's just where I'm at right now.
I only do this to inspire others. That's his thing from last week. He's like, guys, the only reason I cook is so I can inspire people the way that Marcus Samuelsson inspired me. Every day I wake up and I say, how can I be Marcus Samuelsson to somebody?
And Joie says, well, this has truly been an honor cooking with all of you and my grandma, just because I just didn't think I have it in me anymore. And I didn't. Turns out I had grandma inside me, and this is just all her doing it. I really thought I had peaked, like my grandma did. But you guys pushed me forward.
He's just a reanimated body. He died before the show even began. It's his grandma's spirit moving him. She's like, oh, talk about his stupid grow light. Make some good tacos. My plan. And you know who I'm going to credit? Grandma. She never got the credit she deserved.
So now it's the next morning, and now Tristan is painting his nails. It's a clear coat, though. And Bailey is writing in a notebook. And Bailey's like, I have a loose framework of what I'm going to cook, but I'm going to let the food and the ingredients guide me. And I've always been big on creative expression, which is why I've got wacky glasses. And in high school, I loved glam rock. Look, here's a picture of me in high school going to Blink-182 for a concert. So I love David Bowie, and I don't know if I bring glam rock into my cooking. I'm like, you literally bring no glam rock into the cooking. Every week you're like, I'm going to do a gnocchi on top of a classic red sauce. I'm like, wow, glam rock.
I hope I can get the bread crusty enough.
I'm going to do a classic agnolotti filled with corn. Just maybe a classic sauce of eggplant and anchovy. Glam rock!
I'm putting flour on a countertop, shaping it into the shape of a volcano, putting an egg in the center, and making a pasta. Glam rock.
I'm making a savory lasagna that's going to confuse an actor. But it's gonna look like tiramisu. Glam rock.
Glam rock. Glam rock really tricked people into eating savories instead of desserts. It was an amazing period. I'd like to credit David Bowie with my tiramisu crepe thing. So Tristan is
Susie and the Banshees. Glam rock.
Glam rock. Tristan wakes up very inspired because he finally came up with an idea at 3 a.m. and realized, he's like, I didn't know what to do. But then I realized when I was in the mountains that black people don't go to mountains. And when I was like, wait a minute. But the Taino people went to the mountains, and that's where jerk was invented. And now I have what we call a story.
Yes. So, and he talks about how the Taino people were the indigenous people of Jamaica, and they used to hide in the mountains and cook with all the foraged ingredients and the greens. And so he realizes that was the narrative, angle he needed to get to understand what he was going to cook. And Massimo is like, my strategy for today is just to go with the moment, cook, break a lot of cutting boards, open mind, open heart, big cuffs around my hands. And, I just want to go to Milano. I want to cook some fucking Italian food.
Wow.
Maybe not.
I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm doing it for the BMW. Wow, what a car. What an amazing car. I love this BMW X3. I want one in every color.
Yeah, because they're driving back out to the reservation. They're like, you know what? Because if we have all this beautiful food that we just foraged, and look at the sacred land, rather than just parking and staying here, we're going to drive in and drive out and drive in and drive out again, just to get as many fumes as possible.
Bailey's like, well, I was really lucky to get some good ingredients when I went foraging. I'm just trying to figure out how to make a cannoli with this BMW tire. It's like, no, Bailey, no. Plants. Get the plants, Bailey. Oh, God, I'm just my self-confidence. Oh.
I grabbed some things to reinforce the poplar. I got some poplars, so I want to reinforce that. So I got some bud syrup. So I'm making poplars and buds. Glam rock!
So they talk about how difficult it's going to be to cook in open fire. And Bailey's like, yeah, I mean, I'm using dried cow peas or black-eyed peas. They're so hard. I mean, we're in Cowtown, so it felt like the right move. God, do cows get offended? Is that a local way to say cow peas, or do you only say that in other places? Oh, God, I could be ruining this whole thing. Do I even deserve to be here?
Wow, you sound like Gail at a restaurant when they ask her what you want to eat. Cow, please.
That's what I told Gail last time we got in an argument. I said, cow, please.
Oh, I really want to make dandelion greens with these cowpeas. I hope it all comes together in a kind of glam rock way.
Glam rock.
So then Tristan is cooking things over indirect heat and everything. And then Shuai is making cabbage. And he's saying that he doesn't want to char the cabbage on its own, because then it'll be very dry and brittle, like Gail's hair. And you just want to add that to the stock and kind of reduce it in the stock so it just kind of glazes itself, like Gail taking a bath. Wow, I'm on a real run today. Unlike Gail.
So Tom comes. He's like, well, hey, chef, you cook outside often? Tristan, I was told to ask you about the outside. It's going to be wacky. It's going to be crazy. Have you seen that BMW? Insane.
And Tristan's like, yeah, not like this. He's like, well, so what are you making? Huh? What are you up to? What are you doing? And Tristan's like, well, I'm doing a Canadian version of jerk pork, and I had a hard time, honestly, relating it to black people in the mountains. And so it's not the place that we're at, but it's the direction I'm going. I'm just going to use all the forage items. All right, I wasn't really listening, but what are the forage items that you're using? Bark? Rose hips?
He's like poplar barks. I can use that kind of for cinnamon. Using yarrow. That's good. Oh, I think I went to high school with her. Yep. And thyme and rosemary. Definitely them. Kind of as a flavor. Rose hips. Oh, Rose has good hips. God, I love golden curls. What are we talking about here? You know, those BMWs have TVs in them. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I just watched Despicable Me 3. Great movie. So he's like, well, it sounds like you have a game plan. We'll just go through the motions of pretending like you're not going to win this all. Okay. All right, Cesar. What are you doing? Why are you hiding behind the tree stump? Do you want to come out? You want to talk to strangers? Is that okay? You got some honey mushrooms?
Hey, you got some honey mushrooms there? And he's like, chestnuts. And he goes, oh, well, chestnut mushrooms. Well, okay. Let's shoot that again. Maybe with somebody else. I don't want to repeat the line. But, okay. What else you got there? Lion's mane portobellos. They were foraged. Don't tell anybody about the other mushroom I got. Oh, yeah, I saw that in the post office. That was crazy.
Oh, you got some ants. You forage those. Does it really count as foraging or just hunting and trapping ants? You don't have to serve us ants if you don't need to. If you don't want to, it's perfectly okay. We don't really want to have any ants. He's like, yeah, I did it. He's like, they're really yummy. I'm going to make he just basically talks about how he's making this al pastor and everything. He's like, okay, good luck. And Massimo, how are you doing over there? Massimo, what are you up to?
Couldn't be better. Great. Everything's great. We're in the forest. It's amazing. I have an extra half hour. I'm going to do bannock, cooked on rock. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I love this. Foraging, forest, like Italy. I'm going there, right? So intense. Everybody else is like, well, here's what I'm going to make. Massimo, how about you? Yeah, so excited.
So Bailey's like, okay, what about you, Bailey? What are you up to? She's like, oh, I'm having a ball over here today. So, it doesn't sound too convincing. It's like, yeah, well, I got some cowpeas, and I'm also doing a lamb piadina with it, and grilled marinated dandelion greens, and kind of a creamy stack, kind of like a puree situation, real glam rock stuff.
Well, it's funny. I'm not really sure what you're making, but I do remember pulling over one time to use the restroom when we were on tour, and Padma said, hey, Tom. I said, hey, Padma, where's Gail? And she said, Tom, cowpeas. Sorry, that one took a while, but it was really stupid, so I hope it was worth it.
I remember it well. I just told my dear friend, Lauren Bacall, here in heaven.
I still haven't had the heart to tell her that Tuesday morning closed.
Hold on 1 second. Jerome Robbins is coming over. Hey, Jerome, you want to hear about my coworker, Gail? I used to say, cow, please. Yeah, that's it.
Jerome Robbins really didn't laugh at that one as hard as he should.
West Side Story. More like stupid side story. Get out of here, ghost, Jerome Robbins.
Get out of here, West Side Bory. Get out. Nobody likes you, Jerome Robbins. Everyone knows sailors don't tap dance. Stupid.
You want to go to America? How about you get out of Heavenica? Huh?
So Tom's like, well, Bailey, sounds like you're not quite 100% there yet. She's like, yeah, I mean, God, it's so hard. I just don't know what to do. I mean, I'll tell you this, whatever I'm cooking, it's going to come with a side of regret.
Huh, sounds great. All right, Shuai, what are you doing? And why are you wearing that strange floral dress? Well, it's my grandmother's. So,
Schwai, why are you a skeleton sitting on the second floor of a building, rocking back and forth creepily?
Hi, this is Padma Lakshmi again, Ghost Padma. I just want to say I've become very good friends with Anthony Perkins. So watch what you say.
Watch your goddamn mouth, Tom. You're going to be strangled with a black turtleneck.
So Schwai's like,
Schwai, tell me about your thing. Let me guess. It's for your grandma. He's like, it's for my grandma. He's like, no, nailed it. We'd love that. We'd love a good grandma story here.
He's like, well, I'm just gonna make I found a bunch of cecil roots, and I'm gonna make a stock, and I'm gonna make almost like a spruce and poplar oil. And by the way, Tom, can you tell me the difference between a text message and an email? What do you want to know? Just a question my grandma always asks me. Also, Tom, can you help me set up my Apple TV?
Yeah, exactly. So Tom, I got an email from someone that says they have the last name as me and they're the last person in Nigeria with that last name, and somebody passed away, and I don't know, do you have a bank account I could transfer some money to? All right. Well, this has been fun. So
I almost nerfed.
You've changed a lot, Schwai. I mean, doing things for your grandma now, that is nuts. And Schwai's like, yeah, I've just been feeling way more myself, like now this is my life. I knit. I mean, I just didn't realize, I knit and I wake up early and walk around the mall before the stores open. It's crazy. They call us guacamoles.
It's like, yeah. Tom, there should be like a Top Chef outdoor cooking. I was suggesting Top Chef Naked and Afraid. Well, I don't know if I want to do it naked, but certainly I'd be afraid. Well, maybe there should be a Top Chef. Top Chef just get a career already, and I could just star my son.
We've already had that show backstage, and it was called Girls Naked and I'm Afraid. So please. Let's not revisit that. Lauren, I'm sorry. That really upset Lauren.
I did try to pitch to NBC Universal Top Chef Bad Patterns and Afraid, but unfortunately Gail wasn't available for the dates that we had wanted.
Well, the chefs, they went foraging, and they're using products they don't really know, but they can also relate them to other products they do know. So take you got a mushroom, make a mushroom taco. I mean, I don't know mushroom. I know tacos. Put them together. Boom. You know what? A taco is only a friend you haven't met yet.
There's a lot of things. They're all doing interesting things. Bailey, she's going to have to add a little bit more sweetness to her dish because when last time I checked, she just had taken a handful of dirt and put it into a fry pan. So
she put it in her own eyes and started crying and saying, why am I here? Over and over again. So
something about glam rock. Wasn't sure what that was. So she said she was going to find the most glamorous rock she could find in the dirt.
So, some are going to win, some are going to lose. That's just Top Chef. That's how it goes. Mother Nature is a real bitch. She'll kill you. So Bailey's like, well, everything I'm doing today feels so risky. I mean, God, there's such strong flavors here. I mean, is there too much poplar? God, I wish I was poplar.
Too much poplar. The Gail Simmons story. So, hold on one second. Lauren Bacall has a question. Her name is Gail Simmons. Yes. No one likes her. That's why we make these jokes. God, keep up, Lauren Bacall.
God, Lauren Bacall. So Tom's like, okay, I'm out of here. I'm going to get into this beautiful B4 and see what that big man with a shaved head and a tiny little car does to those little minion things. See you later, alligators. So Tristan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Massimo is making a cracker. And Tristan, you're going to say what Tristan's up to.
Oh, he's doing greens. He's doing a kayalu.
Nothing
which is
but
greens.
greens.
Has been, what is that?
You said he's doing greens. I'm saying nothing but greens.
Parsley, peppers, cabbage, and celery, asparagus, and watercress, and fiddle ferns, and lettuce. I said, all right. My garden one night. Father was robbing me, bleeping me, rooting through my rutabaga, raiding my arugula, ripping through the rampion, my champion, my favorite. I should have laid a spell on him right there. I should have turned him into a stone or a dog or a chair. But I let him have the rampion. I'd lots to spare. In return, however, I said, fair is fair. You can let me have the baby that your wife will bear, okay? And we'll call it square. Get your grandma off my stage. Get her off my stage, Schwei. This is my number.
Schwei's sitting over his stew going, careful the words you say, children will listen.
Careful the things you do, children will see, they'll see.
Brenda Blevin just comes back out.
Careful the words you say, children will forage.
Yeah, so he's doing greens and coconut milk and spices. And he's going to make coconut milk out of parsnips. And because also, not to steal storylines, but he used to watch his grandmother make her own coconut milk all the time. So
that's cool, actually.
It's a grandmother off.
Yeah,
it is,
really is.
yeah.
Everyone's. Yeah, it's cool, but it is a lot of grandmother stuff.
Yeah.
So they're all cooking, and Schwei and Cesar are picking out ants from their bag of frozen ants. And now the judges are arriving, and I'm happy because one of the guests that are coming to sit at the table is none other than Canada Smile herself, Nicole from
I
Top
love
Chef
her.
All Stars.
What a just
World
little
All-Stars.
bundle of joy she is. Every time
was
you
so
see
happy
her,
to see her.
Canada Smile, just sitting there smiling. She's just so happy to be alive.
She's my favorite.
Do you think she's
I
like
love
mean
her.
to babies? Do you think she pinches
No.
babies?
She's mean
I
to
think
no
she
one.
does.
She's mean to no one because she's just so happy and lovely. She's already Canadian, so she's already nice to people. And then she's just on top of that Canada Smile. We love Nicole. We wanted her. I think we wanted her to win Top Chef World All Stars or whatever, but she didn't. It's too bad. So anyway, they sit down, and Kristen's like, well, everyone, welcome to our final challenge here in Canada. Nicole, Paul, welcome back. Scott and Matricia, thank you for being here. This table spends a lot of time outside foraging. You know the land well, and I've been in your shoes. I understand what it's like to forage.
I get it.
And you do a great job.
guys.
I get it, guys. I get it.
Forage Road.
Savor these moments. Savor them.
Guys, are you thinking there needs to be more grandparent talk? Okay, let's do it. So one of the guest judges, Scott's like, you guys, here's what I remember. Summertime and going out on the land with my grandparents. Because that's what you do, you know? So nostalgic. I remember just walking through the forest and my grandma would say, eat that. I would eat it and then I would throw up. She would start laughing and then smack me on the back of the head and say, use your own brain, you goddamn idiot. It's good being back here.
My grandmother, she always loved this land, which is why we buried her, scattered her ashes right here in that. Wait a second, there's a BMW on top of my grandmother. Making fun of the BMW, not making fun of cultures. So then Tristan says, he's happy with his pork. And then he's saying that he wants to reference his Afro-Caribbean culture, etc. And he's presenting his food. So he's made this thing. It's jerk. He calls it not jerk chicken. It's OG jerk. He says it's glazed with birch sap and plantain miso syrup. And poplar bark was used as cinnamon. And yarrow used as thyme. And then lots of greens. The Quarry Lake callaloo. Instead of coconut milk, he made parsnip milk, which is cray-cray. And he's like, then at the end he goes, sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm chubby.
So Kristen's like, God, I could just listen to him talk about food all day. Jesus Christ. Got some hot talking about food. The way he did milk that parsnip. Holy fuck.
Wow. He's just like Jerome Robbins talking about dance all day. Wow, we get it, Jerome. You're a choreographer.
Gail talks about food all day. No one will sit with her. And Brenda's like, one of the things that's really important to me is connecting people to the land. And I'm really tasting the land in this dish. You know, I get that Brenda's being very sweet here and kind. I don't think I've ever heard that used as a compliment. You know what this tastes like? Land. This dish tastes like maybe if you're like, can you send this back? It tastes like the land. It's like, did you put dirt in here? Just please take this away.
She's like, everyone, normally when I say it tastes like the land, it's really a special thing because we take from the land and it's very sacred. But in this case, I think he did put dirt in this food. He over-foraged. No, they love it. They love it. They're like kind of blown away. It looks wonderful. It's Tristan. Of course, it's great. And it's very, and by the way, I mean, all this stuff looks amazing that they're doing here. And it is very cool that they are, I mean, I can't stand foraging like in general, but like it is special that they come to this place and they are foraging with these foods that are like sacred to this group of people. And they are making all this great food. And like, I don't like foraging in like the forests of LA, but I think it's cool when people forage.
You don't like forest. You don't like LA.
I'm not going to run in
foraging?
Canada and forage.
That's crazy. You're just coming back with a Burger King wrapper. You're like, well,
like I don't want to forage.
Found a used condom on the street and a stiletto from a heel that broke off.
I don't like foraging for me personally, but I think it's cool when other people can do it and can actually do it well. I'm always shocked that they
well,
can
yeah, to
like,
see
really?
what creative things they come up with things that they could never plan on using, you know?
Yeah.
So then they all love Tristan, basically. He killed it. And then one of the ladies is like, guys, there's an eagle flying over there. There's 3. That's very rare. This is a very special day, which is pretty cool. 3 eagles. I don't really have anything to say about that.
It's 3 eagles. That's cool. That's better than, like 3 pigeons. So then Tracy says, that's a good sign. Like, yeah, it means that they're getting ready to feast on Gail. So then, watch out, Gail. So then Bailey is still working. Bailey has no idea what she's doing. She is just improvising. She keeps throwing stuff into her food. Her beans aren't quite done. She's a disaster over there.
Bailey's just like, it's coming together. It's not coming together. I'm going to fail. What am I going to do? This sucks. I'm terrible. So she's going through it over there. But Cesar's doing good. He's plating, and he's like, plating is where I have the most fun. It's like creation, but it's also destruction. Because I create the food, and then I smash it over their heads and watch them try to eat it without getting glass in their teeth.
So the food is served, and Kristen's like, we've got ants. We've got ants brought to you by Downey. If you have an ant invasion and need to wipe up some ants, use Downey.
Have you got ants in your pants? Use Downey. I did it during my season, and I've never forgotten it.
Sorry, when I said Downey, I was thinking of paper towels, which is Brawny, another sponsor of Top Chef. Brawny, the preferred paper towel for wiping up ants when you have reached for the Downey instead.
Wow, Gail, congratulations on getting a paper towel brand. So they really like Cesar's. He's done a mushroom trompo with a mushroom pibil broth and toasted ants. And he's like, it's like a fusion between pastor tacos, also cochinita pibil with some roasted pineapple, but also maybe a little soap and some adobo sauce made out of rose hips. Well, there we go again. Rose hips. Everybody just trying to give me a boner today. Rose Island, I will never forget you, ma'am.
I'm just really glad someone used rose hips because finally we get a dish that won't lie to us. They can't. So then Scott is this guy Scott says they love the broth. They love this. He says, we love our soups. We eat soups when it's plus 40. And they're all like, we don't do Celsius, so we have no idea what that is. Actually, that wouldn't be Celsius. That's Fahrenheit.
I don't know.
Plus 40 Celsius would be like
math.
plus 40 Celsius would be wild temperatures.
I can't even do like the time changes in our country. Like I can't do like Eastern Standard Time different with Pacific Time. I fuck it up every time. I'm just not smart like that. So Bailey's like, oh God, my cowpeas aren't really here right now. Like, but they're closed, but I'm waiting until the absolute last minute to take them out of the liquid. God, I'm going to fuck up the cowpeas. I just know it.
Meanwhile, Schwai is charring cabbage, and also toasting ants. And Massimo is butterflying a trout. And Massimo is like, trout is very, very thin. It's going to be extremely difficult to get the crispy skin, the perfect cook, the smoke all at the same time. But this isn't my first barbecue. It's my second one. So good luck to me.
You know, Massimo, I like Massimo. I really wanted to see Massimo in the finals, but this is the second, at least time. It's the second time in a row. Didn't he do this last week where he's just like a simple grilled piece of fish, and then they've got everyone's using all this crazy stuff, and he's like, I went with mustard greens, mustard this, mustard that, so I'm leaning into fish and mustard. Like, it's very boring, Massimo. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty, but I'm trying to root for you, Massimo. Let me root for you.
Yeah. So now it's time for Bailey to serve. So she comes and she greets everyone. She goes, well, for you guys, I did a glam rock clam spadino. Spadino spelled for everyone Spiedino, which means that most of the word says Spidey. Anyone is here a fan of the Hills? No? Okay, well, then that joke fell flat. Anyway, it's got grilled dandelion salad and cowtown cow peas or black eyed peas. And I also use black poplar syrup as well as the birch syrup to glaze it. So good luck to everyone.
And she tells us, she's like, oh, God, this is just different from everything I made. I just feel so exposed. It's like, can I not eat your trauma? Like, please. So they one of the ladies is like, well, if there's meat on the skewer, I'm in. It's all she needed.
It's like, I love the lamb and the dandelion greens. So she did a good job. And Tom's like, yeah, I think she did a good job with the ingredients that she was using. And the only issue I have is the peas. There's a flavor combination that I'm not familiar with at all. I mean, I think it's poplar syrup, roast garlic together. I don't know if I like it, but I keep going back to it. Unlike customers at my son's bar. Why did he ever think being a mixologist would be a smart thing to do?
And Nicole's like, yeah, my peas were too crunchy. Like, creamy would have been nice, but these are gross. And I'm the nicest person who's ever been on this show. So I think we should kick off Bailey. Like, well, jump in the gun a little bit. The loud one's coming soon. Okay? We've got to be on a plane with one of these people.
So Schwai, meanwhile, is finishing his dish, and he's like, whenever I cook out of memory and love, it always comes out pretty well, especially when I shape the food to spell out the word grandma on a plate. They really like that.
So today I made a roasted cabbage. I've fallen and I can't get up with a rose hip glaze, a pork belly lavage, and thatching and togarashi. Okay, great. What was that thing about falling and not getting up? It's a button you press if you fall. Look out for me, guys. Look out for me.
Now, the oil you have, it's kind of tingly. It's got a spicy note there, but there should also be some refreshing notes from the polydent I added in there. Now, that oil is made from black spruce as well as poplar buds. And there's just a bit of Sichuan peppercorn. And to the right of it, there's a picture of Alex Trebek to remind you of all the days you spent watching Jeopardy.
I was going to do the peppercorn in pages from the phone book because my grandson told me we don't use phone books anymore. And I said, you will take this out of my cold dead hands, literally. So enjoy this.
So Gail's like, well, the sauce around the dish, it was sort of translucent. What was that? Well, Gail, it's not deodorant, so you can stop putting it under your armpits.
Well, it's basically like Gail leaning up against a window. So she's like, this is a Top Chef first translucence. And Schwei's like, oh, that's stock, Asian stocks are made out of medicinal things. So yeah. And then, the answer just for fun. And Kristen's like, wow, this is amazing. And Scott's like, yeah, I thought, okay, cabbage, but it wasn't just cabbage. There was so much flavor in it. And to burn it on the outside and get it perfect on the inside. God damn it. This cabbage changed my life.
You know what's funny? Because I heard that when Gail was single, she used to use a dating app called Not Just Cabbage.
But then customers complained after they met her that it was misleading, so they had to change the name of the app. Now it's called Bagel. Now it's just called a Bagel.
Bagel meets cabbage. So Brenda, they
Bagel eats bagel.
I'm not gonna lie, I did buy a cabbage today, and I think I was partially influenced by this episode. I was like, I
I
want
buy
to make some
cabbage. I eat a lot of cabbage, actually. I love a cabbage.
I buy cabbage too. Hey,
Yeah, me too. I love cabbage. Me and Lauren
Hey,
get
Lauren.
together for cabbage all the time.
you guys might not know this, but there's actually the better cabbage in heaven than there is on earth. So Lauren Bacall and I are gonna have the cabbage dinner. Sorry, you can't be here. Even if you were dead, you wouldn't be invited. Sorry. Hey, Jerome Robbins, enjoy eating your not cabbage for dinner.
So Brenda really was caught up with the pork belly, the vinegar side, with the cabbage, the char. She loved it. She calls it exquisite. And Gail's like, it was excellent. I loved it. So I went into the woods yesterday and he came out with this. Oh my God. Revelatory.
All right, do we have some defibrillators for Gal? She's kind of losing her mind. It's stupendous. It's amazing. It's absolutely. This is why we do what we do. It's the most amazing thing we've ever seen. All right, we need those defibrillators right away. Gail's on the blow.
So Massimo is next, and he's like, the smoking of the junipers, what's going to finish cooking the trout? So I want flavors. I want to capture the judges. Get them. Lock them up. I highlighted Forage ingredients to perfection. This is a winning dish. Italy, here I come. In a BMW, probably. I love BMWs.
Hey guys! All right. A Buddhist monk in saffron robes once told a 19-year-old David Bowie, I know what real glam rock is. Sorry, Bailey, that was for you. Anyway.
Glam rock. I'd already stole that. Gonna have to come up with something else in the next 2 minutes. I might as well just pack my bags.
So the monk told a 19-year-old David Bowie, who are you, where are you, and where are you going? Turns out that monk was actually just someone at the DMV. But anyway.
It was a policeman, but that's neither here nor there.
It was a crossing guard wearing a lot of orange. So hopefully this dish can answer at least two of those questions. Yesterday when I was foraging, I saw mustard. Wow. You sound like Gail. Hold on, I can get there. You saw mustard. Wow. You sound like Gail at the aquarium trying to break through one of the tanks. She thought she saw mustard. Turns out it was just a grouper.
So this dish was conceptualized by mustard itself. So then I made grilled trout, and then it's smoked in juniper, blah, blah, blah. But then it has mustard roots, mustard leaf, smoked potato puree with mustard. I love mustard. And I'm like, wow,
You know
fish
what?
and mustard. Great.
Yeah, congratulations. Wow, you went for the easiest forage thing. Like, we can get mustard greens in, well, won't say every supermarket, but like mustard greens are a thing that you can get in supermarkets. Mustard root, I think you're pretty much just dealing with mustard at that point. So, wow, you use mustard. Everyone else is doing things like, poplar and birch and ants. And he's like, mustard. I'm making mustard greens. That's it.
Well, even the meat, even the protein, it's like the simplest thing you could do, like a grilled trout. Come on, Massimo.
Also, if you don't want to be kicked out, don't highlight a protein where out is like the main part of the word. Okay?
Out. Yeah.
There's literally like out like trout. Isn't that a thing that people say? Don't do it. Do people
He's
say
like,
out
I was
trout?
going to cook you a fish called Akernafsengo, but I decided trout.
There was an exotic fish called "Who are the weakest link?" Goodbye. But
So Gail's like, well, everything in the bowl I thought was well balanced, but the bannock, that really intense herb condiment, it just had such a bitter note, and it just felt disconnected from the trout. Well, that's something no one would ever accuse you of being. Jesus. That trout is still
connector.
connected to your mouth. Somebody hand Gail a napkin.
Wow, Gail thinking everything in the bowl was well balanced. Just because you put the bowl on your nose doesn't mean it's well balanced.
And Kristen's like, well, he kind of left it up to the user to figure out how to eat it. So it was very confusing. We had fish, potato, sauce. What do we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very, very confusing. Do I put my fork in it? Do I, put my finger inside of it? Not really sure how to do it. Could have used some instructions, guys.
This is the funniest thing because he made this dish. It was like a fish in a broth, and everyone agreed that was delicious. But he made like this little cracker. He made a homemade cracker and he put it on the side with a whole bunch of stuff on it. And the intent was to dip that into the broth. You get everything all together in this one big glorious bite. But they didn't know, so they were just eating the cracker on its own. So we're just getting like a burst of seasoning without anything to balance it. And there none of them ever had the thought to dip it into the soup. There was like one person who was like, well, when I dipped it into the soup altogether, it was a delicious bite. But what do we do with the cracker?
Yeah.
There's a cracker on the side of the soup. What do we do? When a cracker comes next with soup, what are we supposed to do with it?
What do we do? What could it be there for? What would the topping on the crackers be for inside the soup? This is absolutely crazy. I'm so confused. You guys eat like 10 courses a day as your job.
I'm so confused.
Yeah.
So the judges all laugh and afterwards, and Gail's like, well, it's 5 really lovely inspired dishes today. All on your shirt, Gail. Come on. It's called Mouth Closed. Food in, mouth closed.
Let's go back to judges' table that we're going to shoot in the outdoors in a windy field. Okay, let's do that. So they go.
And this week for judges' table, we're going to chop down several trees and balance them in between our 2 BMWs, which we'll have running just in case we have to make a quick exit. All right, great.
This time we are burning electric batteries for fuel and a bonfire. So Brenda's like, I was so touched. It was so connected to land. And Kristen's like, okay, Massimo, walk us through how it all came to be, possibly quietly, if you could do that. He's like,
Wow. I know I wanted to cook trout on open flame. I was rooting for the open flame. I had half an hour extra, so I wanted to cook the bannock to have a little bread, to have something to dip in. You know, dip it. This is what you do with bread. I hope nobody asked what that was for, because you're a bunch of fucking morons if you did that.
The fish was just beautifully cooked. I love the mustard relish made with the stems. That was great. And Kristen goes, the sauce, I mean, it was absolutely outstanding. I mean, to think about the sauce that you made. I've made sauces before. And I just want to say, savor this moment when you get to make a sauce, because it's really special. It's really special.
you don't want to be old and look back and realize you didn't appreciate the sauce that you made. Enjoy the sauce right now. Enjoy it. And so Tom's, they're all loving it. And Gail's like, well, I love that you put a lot of bitterness and herbaceousness onto the bannock. But the way that you plated it, there was just so much garnish on the bannock, I didn't think to dip it. I mean, wow, what an incredible thing. Could you put an instruction manual in there? Maybe a little Allen wrench, something.
I have to be honest, the way that you plated that cracker, the bannock cracker, I didn't think to dip it. I thought it was a hat. So I put it on and I thought, wow, I have a look for the Emmys this year. And then all of a sudden everyone was looking at me and I said, what are you all looking at? And they said, wow, I guess Padma was really right. We just thought she was a callous bitch, but it turns out there's some truth in jest, huh? And I said, what are you talking about? I'm wearing my new hat. And then they all laughed at me and I started to cry. It was very awkward. And next time you should tell me how to use my cracker.
So now they moved to Tristan, and Tristan is like, I thought of like wild pigs rummaging around and eating roots and tubers. So, story, jerk sauce. And Tom's like, well, layers and layers of flavors. I mean, they just kept coming. It's like Gail at a Golden Corral. And it was, it was like you were using these ingredients your entire life. I mean, just absolutely stunning. Whoa.
And then Brenda's like,
I was astounded that you came to the point of translating the language of my land to the food of your own culture, but I'm terribly sorry. I've never had any babies. Oh no! I just remembered again I had a baby.
I did have a baby who loved tubers, and I didn't realize it until you said you foraged a tuber. Oh, come to mama.
So now they move, and Tristan's like, thank you. I think food connects us no matter where we're from. If you're a person, you're a thing that likes food. Am I right, guys? People, food, people eating done by people. Am I right? We're just one. We're all one. She's like, that is beautiful. That is fucking beautiful.
a wise woman once said, we're all connected. And that woman's name was AT&T. Thank you. That was a beautiful story, Tristan. So Cesar is like, well, I was so happy foraging today. I remember the first two things we tried were the rose hips and the ants, and that's where I got the idea to try to hatch this a little bit to make a rose hip and ant El Pastor featuring a giant hen of the woods that I stole from a forest that said, "No trespassing." So here it is.
And Tracy, of course, is like, oh my God, ants, my favorite ingredient. Do you guys love ants or do you not? I mean, I have a restaurant 10 miles down the road. Do you know what we eat? Fucking ants. Okay. All the time. And this guy used ants. I fucking love ants. Great job using the ants. God, where'd you get that idea? Did you freeze them before you toasted them? Ruined their entire fucking community. How were they? Delicious?
Kristen's like, I've never actually personally cooked ants before, but I have cooked with my ants. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing to cook with your ant. Like, okay. All right, Kristen. All right. That's enough.
And Cesar's like, yeah, I mean, I toasted them and I apologized to them at the same time, which is why you got to love Cesar.
Yeah, but doesn't that make you feel better, Ronnie, about the ants?
Yes, I love Cesar. That's why I love him. So Kristen's like, yeah, my first bite, it was bitter, but in a good way. Like Padma. Thanks, Kristen. R.I.P. Hey.
You know who's bitter? Jerome Robbins. Sorry you don't get to eat cabbage with us, but why don't you make some new friends already, okay?
By the way, I just had Gorbachev try ant. It was hilarious.
We sometimes eat cabbage with Gorbachev on Thursdays, but not Risa. She's the worst. I'm like, why do you stay with that bitch? Now that you're in heaven, you have so many more options, Gorby.
So Tracy's like, ants, loved them. Okay, so Kristen's like, yeah, it was bitter, but it was good still, and everything came together. Shwai, did your dish turn out how you wanted it to? Which made me worried for Shwai, because that's usually a shady question. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, you know what? I woke up thinking of my grandma, and I went to bed thinking of my grandma. And while you were eating, I hope you felt like you were eating just a leg right off of my grandma. So yeah, nailed it. Pretty much nailed it.
So Brenda's like,
there were so many flavors within the dish. I tasted the medicine, but I felt it more than anything.
Shwai's like, great. My grandmother felt her medicine as well. So Tom was like, oh, this is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I was jealous that I didn't make this dish. I mean, then again, I also haven't cooked in my restaurant in probably about 25 years. Am I right? Huh? So you could put that in a 3-star environment and it would hold up. It's great. Loved it.
It was one of the best things I've ever had in my whole goddamn life. That's for sure. Absolutely amazing. This tasted better than having a Sunfields. I'll tell you that.
Shwai's like, well, I have to admit it. I know I says my grandma. It actually is more of my mom's dish. Oh, it's terrible. I hate this. This is garbage.
From now on, I only want grandma medicine tasting things. Okay? Let's just...
Mom medicine no longer cuts it on Top Chef. We want grandma medicine.
So, Bailey, did everything go how you wanted it? She's like, does it ever? Oh, today was sort of weird for me. I mean, I had to feel it out, and I was like, I don't know. Is it going to connect? Was it terrible? Did anybody get poisoned? Am I going to die? Am I already dead? Am I already on a bus back home and this is all a dream? Just tell me. Just kick me out now. God.
Brenda's like, well, you know, Bailey, yesterday when we started foraging, there was a little bit of intimidation going on there. Basically, you were just like a scared white lady and you were very confused. And
do you remember when I was dropping Prozac pills onto the ground just so you would forage those? Wish that you had picked those up.
But you got that little inner forager to come out and you produced something really unique, which is my way of saying you plundered our land like all the other white people do, and you made garbage out of it. Thanks a lot. If you're going to take our ingredients, at least make something that tastes good.
Well, you know what? It was delicious. It was odd at times, but I have to say, it was great to do something feeling like you. Odd, weird, disconnected. What's it doing? Is this lasagna? I don't know.
All I do know is that guy from Mission Impossible is still very confused about the tiramisu. So, good job.
Tarzan is still trying to jump out of that building.
I heard he was trying to explain to Tom Cruise that he ate a savory dish that looked like tiramisu, but it wasn't tiramisu. And Tom Cruise is like, bro, why do you keep talking to me about this? It's hilarious.
So Kristen's like, and you cooked the peas from dry today. I'm sorry, did you mean for the peas to be gravel that almost choked me to death?
Hold on, Lauren Bacall, one moment. Please don't let the cabbage get cold, but I have to go back to Earth for one thing real quickly. Did you mean to make such terrible food from your foraged ingredients? Thank you. Okay, Lauren, I'm back.
She's like, oh God, those peas took me the whole time. And Carol's like, well, perhaps they were a second under, but it felt like a walk in the woods. Keep walking. Okay, well, I'm in the woods. Keep going further, further, further. I can still see you. I can still see you. Okay, pull out a shovel, bury, dig a hole, get in the hole, put dirt on top of it. Wow, finally, Gail's in a decent outfit.
Wow, Gail eats a spoonful of crunchy beans and she feels like she's walking in the woods. Makes me wonder what she does with her free time. So, doesn't really make sense. Like, is Gail eating crunchy beans in the woods? She's like, well, I'm finished making my beans and I took them out a little early, so let me go bring them into the woods and eat them.
So they tell them that it was exceptional across the board and yada yada. Now, I really thought they were getting rid of Bailey because she had more
100%.
complaints. They were like, this is weird. Tom's like, I mean, it
Undercooked.
tasted kind of weird, but I kept eating it, or whoever said that. And they said nothing but compliments over Massimo. So I really thought Bailey was out, which I didn't love to see because I don't want it to be like a big sausage party at the end. But I was like, Bailey's out of here. And also, I think it's hard because chefs are so confident, like they're overconfident a lot of times, but they have to have these personas that are like built on confidence that whenever I see someone who's not confident at all, it just makes me lose confidence in them in the chef world. You know, I'm like, you're dead. You're dead here. They're never going to vote for you. You have zero confidence. But it didn't happen.
Yeah. No, because ultimately, I guess Massimo had issues. That cracker really threw them for a loop. They were like, it was so overpowering. It was just absolutely awful. So they were so confused about the cracker, and then ultimately they decided that Bailey, while flawed, she was more adventurous, and Massimo was actually pretty safe because he just basically did mustard.
Yeah, so I think I can see that angle of choosing for that. Obviously, I didn't eat it, but I'm like, undercooked peas? No. It's like to go to the finals of Top Chef and you're serving some undercooked peas. And then
really
everything
don't like
about his, like, oh my God, it was brilliant. The sauce was amazing. The stuff, once we figured out how to do it, was amazing together. So I was kind of surprised, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Their biggest issue was that it was disconnected, but it seemed like Bailey had the sort of technical issues that would get her eliminated. But then they can return to judges' table, and Kristen's
Massimo's
like,
boring as fuck too, though. So it's like you can't even stand up too much for Massimo. It's like grilled trout, mustard.
He's like annoying. Yeah. So chef's just an exceptional day all around, and you all did remarkable. But as we know, there can only be one winner. And Tracy and Brenda, as our guest judges, you get to announce our winner. Oh my God, could it possibly be anyone other than Tristan? It's Tristan. Oh, actually, no, it was Schwei in this case. Tristan did not actually win. Yeah, Schwei. That cabbage looked so good. I mean, I wanted to eat it so badly. It just was like perfectly caramelized and it looked fantastic.
So now we find out who's getting kicked off. And the bottom two are Massimo and Bailey. We've already told you who gets kicked off. It's Bailey. She's out of here. I mean, no, sorry. It is Massimo. He's out of here.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, what's next? I'm going to hug my children until they're blue in the face and never breathe again because I'm sick of children. That's it.
I just have to remember what they look like. So I'll be hugging several children in Montreal until I find them.
My wife has changed her address again, so wish me luck.
So he goes off and Kristen's like crying. She's like, you did a great job. You did a great job. I don't want to say this. You did a great job. So then they're like, cheers, you're all going to Milan, that sucks for Massimo. I mean, he's like, his whole thing is he cooks Italian food, and then he's a Canadian judge, and he gets dropped right before going to Milan. So that's a bummer, but whatever. Sorry.
Well, that's the end of Top Chef.
Yeah, that's the end. So that's it. Everyone, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And we will catch you on the next Top Chef episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.